Feel the thunder of the pitch, the roar of the crowd, and witness the rising of our nation. St. Lucia, this is the Semi-Professional Football League Season 2. 2 epic tournaments, 143 electrifying matches, 10 venues, 1 island, 1 heartbeat. From June to December 2025, 20 district football leagues will face off. Every match is a battle, every goal is a statement, and every fan is part of the legacy. Who will rise to victory? Play your schedule and be part of history. Visit semiprofootballleague.com and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube for full match fixtures, live coverage, updates, and behind-the-scenes access. This is our season where passion lives and purpose leads.
This is a beautiful game and this is what we love.
St. Lucia Semi-Pro Football League.
Leveraging football to transform lives.
Dream big, make it your own. Home Sweet gets you any style of home. Be yourself saying home sweet home. With a home sweet mortgage, you are number one. Home sweet, home quest, home flex, home switch. Need a new home, we get it. Home sweet, home quest, home flex, home switch. Act now when you won't regret it. POSL. Bank of St. Lucia's enhanced home sweet mortgages are designed around you. Home Flex, a home equity line of credit. Home Quest, for professionals building new dreams. And Home Switch, time to bring your mortgage home to us. Home Sweet Mortgages, make it your own. Home Sweet, Home Quest, Home Flex, Home Switch. Need a new home, we get it. POSL. For more information, call 456-6999 or go to bankofstlucia.com. POSL.
Good evening and welcome back to the Philip Marslight Grounds this Saturday evening, the 9th of August. And though it's threatening to rain here for the first time since we've been down here, the football is guaranteed to be just as entertaining as we've had it this evening. Dennery Football League come up against Choiseul in the first encounter. It's myself, Elijah Williams, alongside Tennyson Glasgow, the critic, in your company.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, viewers from every inch of the globe where you're watching from. Always nice to be in your company. And tonight we have a very tasty encounter between the two, Dennery versus Choiseul. And Dennery, of course, in their traditional red and white. And that will leave Choiseul in their colors as well, orange. Color Eli always aligns with the Coal Pots. I think the Coal Pots are the cricket franchise, and I think also the nickname for the football team as well. So, two contrasting teams looking to make their way up the table. A good result last out for Choiseul. Dennery yet to really stamp the authority that they know when it comes to local football.
Yeah, let me try to quickly get through the lineups for you guys this evening. We start off with Dennery, a change in goal from the last game. Emerson Bissett, he's in between the sticks. Newton Marshall, MacGyver Raymond, Shaquan Dorvius, and Ethan Andrew. They make up the back of four. Javel Fauché, Elijah Joseph, and Himi Fauché. They are in midfield. Jamie Prosper, he continues down the middle, and he's flanked by Gavin Reggie and Shaquille William. For Choiseul, Levan Modest is in goal. They've also made a change from their last game. Kadeem Agduma, Jesse Ja, Perry Simeon, and Covell Thomas, they make up the back four. Just ahead of them in midfield, Ajani Louis, Davel Edward, and the star performer from last game, Darrell Francis, or one of the star performers, Marvin Rizme. He's down the middle again, and he's flanked by Hanif Antoine and Terry George.
Interesting lineups for both teams. I see teams employing 4-2-3-1, 4-4-2, 4-3-3. Some interesting formations as we take in tonight's encounter. Also, I saw trickling in some fans from the Choiseul district. So clearly, momentum has risen, energy has been given, Eli, with the result Choiseul brought home. The fans are definitely making their way into the Philip Master Grounds to support their team.
Yeah, I heard that prior to the game that Choiseul was preparing a bus or two to come across to the Philip Marslight Grounds, which is what you want. That's what we've been advocating for, that people don't just be satisfied with watching the games via the live stream, but taking in the action live down here at the venue. I mean, if there's anything that you miss during the live action, you can always go back to the stream and take a look at it.
As a matter of fact, you can even look at yourself on the live stream if you're not certain. You can certainly be part of what's happening in the crowd, because your support will certainly be picked up by the cameras right here at the Philip Master Grounds. But as we watch the contest between the two, I see both teams, Eli, sort of wanting to get on the front foot very early.
As you may, Gavin Reggie on the ball there right now on the right flank, brings it across. Oh, what a goal there! You just mentioned it, critic. Reggie doing some work on the right flank, getting that ball across, not dealt with. The rebound comes to one of the Dennery players. I'm not sure as yet. I've not been able to just make out who exactly it was that thumped that one off the left upright of the goalkeeper and into the net.
I think it was a fortuitous bounce, because he hit the pole and it may have just ricocheted off a defender. Not certain. Of course, the officials will inform us as per who got on there. But that's all right. In terms of football, you can deal with that. You sort of make your luck when it comes to football. And we know the sort of start that Dennery have. And it's a
Javel Fauché
getting the credit for that goal.
Yeah, Javel Fauché, midfielder there for Dennery. Choiseul have opposite fortunes to what happened with their last outing against Grosley, where they scored early and had Grosley on the back foot. they will have to come from behind in this encounter.
Yeah, I think they have the energy for it. Clearly, when the goal scored, you saw no heads drop, no shoulders were shrugged. I mean, it's a goal, but you can make what it is from that. But most definitely, here we see our guy. Just as I was just about to explain to you, Darrell Francis climbing higher than anybody else and just tucking it. This is the sort of goals you score by just cushioning that header and making the goalkeeper stand no chance. I just was about to tell you, make what you want of it. But we are in for a very, very, very interesting contest between those two.
Well,
Choiseul getting the leveler.
The two standout players of Choiseul's last encounter, Darrell Francis, I just mentioned him during giving the lineup, but Terry George, he was the one that put that ball across.
Right.
One of the standout players from the encounter last week, and it's fireworks here at the Philip Marcella grounds very early on, just barely 5 minutes into the game, and it's 1 goal apiece. Dennery Football Club and Choiseul.
Very interesting. So we're supposed to have some 85 minutes of pure action based upon what we've seen. Teams not even giving each other a chance. I just mentioned both teams are playing on the front foot, and let's see if they can continue in that vein.
Well, spectators always love the front foot. I'm sure those watching via the live stream will be thoroughly entertained thus far. If you just signing on, you've missed 2 goals. Of course, we never like to see the team that we're rooting for get scored against. But if you are neutral, it's been a cracking encounter thus far.
Yeah, teams certainly taking their chances. And here is my player. Player who so much impressed in the last encounter, and he continues to impress. Choiseul showing that they're so confident, bringing the ball all the way back. Then we want to continue trying to maze their way through the defense. Yeah. There's a big difference, Eli. Remember we saw Choiseul in the first encounter at the Mendo Philip Park. And look at the wonders this has done by putting time on the pitch. And we see a very confident Choiseul team basically knocking that ball around and feeling so confident about themselves. And they were rewarded with that against a big result against Rosalie. And look at how they play now. So it only tells you, Eli, if you practice and you could gain confidence, not only in yourself, but all around play by the team.
Well, I could distinctly remember Mike indicating that they were missing a couple of players at the Mendo Philip Park. I'm not too sure of the exact number of players that they were missing. And when I say a couple, I use that term very loosely. But of course, time on the pitch and an improvement in quality. Because those couple of games, Darrell Francis, for example, who's in a number 10 role today, and he was also in a number 10 role in the last game. We saw him playing up front on the flank.
That's right.
And
I think the situation is as Darrell goes, Choiseul goes, I think he basically, with whatever position the coaching setup would want him to play, whatever the game calls for, I think he's up for it.
they're very much full of energy and can play all along the front line, can also play in behind the striker or as a twin striker. And there he is again on the ball. Just a little too much, showing a little too much to Dennery.
We have just carried this one too much. Probably could have control and make a pass, but shows you the intent of Choiseul very early.
And if Antoine, who also got on the score sheet the last encounter, he was trying to get on the end of that one there. Goalkeeper for Dennery, very diminutive in stature, I should say.
We have Antoine not back as yet, so goalkeeper certainly have to make amends.
Philip Marsler Grounds has served up quite a few very tasty and interesting encounters. And this one promises to be another. 2 goals already scored 10 minutes into the contest. Both teams looking up for it. Marve Rizme, another versatile player for the Choiseul team. We've seen him deputize in defense.
Of course, you could hear the fans from the Choiseul team every time they mount an attack. They go on screaming. That's what you want. You need some energy. Here's a good, interesting little setup there by Dennery, trying to set up the play on the other flank. Not bad at all. So it's sort of kind of end to end with those two teams because we know the prowess of Dennery. We know that they have not been themselves in this campaign, but certainly it's a situation where both teams are certainly up for this fixture.
Yeah, and right away I'm seeing some movement in terms of Dennery's front 3. When the goal scored, it was Gavin Reggie doing some work on the right side. We've now seen Jimmy Prosper move across to the right side and Reggie in a more central position. Let's see if that continues.
Instructions from the Dennery goalkeeper trying to set up his defense from very early after being beaten by Darrell. So certainly he wants to block off channels, runs, what have you coming into his area. Dennery dealing with it quite calmly. Good defense there by Choiseul.
Yeah, loose pass there by Dennery.
Calmly reading the situation. There is a through ball. There's too much purchase on this one from Darrell, but clearly you could see the intent of Choiseul is to use the flanks as much as they can and put that ball across.
It will be interesting to see the partnership that's formed between Terry George and Darrell Francis as the game motors on.
It's kind of telepathic between the two. Because sometimes Darrell doesn't even look. Likewise for young George. They basically know where to find each other. Which is always good, Eli, because you need relationships and you need partnerships, especially in football. Well, not only football, but in sports in general. But football, if you can forge a partnership or a relationship with your teammate, it makes the job a lot easier.
Most definitely. Oh! Darrell will be very disappointed there. A shot from about 40 yards out, parried into the path of Francis. Goes with his weaker left foot. But that one is always curling away from the far post there. But he'll be disappointed.
This game is certainly moving at a frantic pace between the two. I think normally when we see a start of a game, we see teams jostling for position or possession rather.
And trying to feel each other out.
Yeah, no boy, no cat and mouse this time. It's all about Jaguars on the pitch. Both teams are moving for a lot of pace and trying to get into the area, thereby creating chances for each other. Frantic pace.
So you're talking about two teams that are sitting in 8th and 9th place. Choiseul on 3 points ahead of Dennery on 1 point. So they both desperately are in need of 3 points in this encounter so that they could climb up the table. You don't want to be languishing down there at the bottom of the table because there's always the lingering threat of relegation into the Super League. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes I say to myself, the Semi-Pro League has a supercomputer to put those matchups together. And if you look at the closeness in terms of where they are on the table as well, so every fixture in itself has a story. And every fixture in itself tells part of the journey of those teams of where they're coming from and what they're hoping to aspire.
Then we're looking to lump one into the box. Ami Fauché standing over that one. Flicked on. Out of a dangerous position for Choiseul. You can hear them asking to clear the lines. Maverisme for clearance there. Not exactly, it was already out of play.
Loads of instructions have been dished out from both camps. Players are assuring that players listen and taking the information. 2 early goals, but the game now seems to have reached a level where they have slowed down a bit, Eli.
Speaking of which, Critic, as a former national player yourself, how important is it to have that figure on the pitch that from a leadership standpoint can really stitch things together and, for want of a better term, pull people's ears and get them to do what they need to do?
Yeah, it's very vital, because you often speak of youngsters who tend to want to have their way. And remember, it's a team sport, and everybody is part of that chain. Because remember, Eli, in football, it starts somewhere. So you have to listen. You cannot do what you want. If you want to do what you want, you play a sport like table tennis or tennis rather. But in football, you have to listen. So the senior figures are basically there to guide the youngsters in terms of what they should do at the given time. Yes, you have your individual skill, which you can use at a certain point. But if it is going to impact what the team is trying to achieve, this is where the senior figure steps in to assure the coach, because the senior figure is the extension of the coach on the playing field. So certainly the youngsters have to listen. They have to listen.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, particularly with, making adjustments in game. The coach is not on the pitch,
That's
so
right.
generally you'll have a senior player asking to tweak something here and there. The formations are not systems; they just, the starting point of how teams will line up.
That's right. And based upon as you go, that system can be tweaked. So Zell is giving everything. Every blade of grass on that pitch is going to be touched by Choiseul. You see how high that press is.
Oh, what a strike!
See how high that press is, and that is the result of working hard.
And he does it all on his own. He closed down the attacker. He won the ball back. He took on the defenders and just smashed that one past the hapless Dennery goalkeeper.
And that is the result of working hard. That is the result of working hard. Clearly, you could see now that this Choiseul team are not phased by you scoring on them very early because they have put in the shift at the Lafargue playing field and is now bearing fruit at the Philip Master ground.
Ajani Louis with that strike there for Choiseul.
So with that strike, that'll certainly peg Dennery back a bit, but they keep possession of the football. Plays into midfield, good into passing between the two. And centre back should have come out better if this one a little too eager to get that ball out. But again, the energy is coming from the covered stands here at the Philip Master grounds. They're certainly here to support Choiseul. And we have two players down, one from Choiseul and also
guy, Terry George.
Yeah, another player from Dennery.
But you know, critic, if you are a coach, that second goal by Choiseul is what you'd want to be showing your players in a training session, in a classroom session. Every facet of the game was in that movement, the closing down with purpose and intent, the winning of the ball, the composure to maintain and strike that ball, and of course the strike itself was a blistering strike, had movement and swerve and bend and dip and
just to sum it up, I think you could clearly see that that goal was made in Choiseul. We know how industrious they are in that part of the island. We know the efforts that it is. Because to make a cold pot, it ain't easy. You must have
well,
act
it
and
was
craft.
hot enough to be in a cold pot
Exactly.
for sure.
So that took some real skill there from the youngster. So that goal was basically made in Choiseul. You know the little arts and craft area just by the Lafargue playing field there? That's where I think that goal stemmed from. Good work ethic by the youngster. Kept pressing, giving the defender from Dennery no chance. And when he got onto it, just raised and watched where the goalkeeper was and piled a shot from the outside. It's a bit dangerous.
Yeah, Reggie on the ball there.
Now that's where the patience comes in, Eli. You could have held on to that football a bit, get players into position, and then, you know, it's all well and good you taking a shot. The shot has to be of a high percentage.
Well, I was asking earlier on in the contest, Choiseul would have scored first in the encounter against Rosalie, eventually winning that game 2-1. And I was asking about what sort of response we would see from this Choiseul team, and boy, what a response!
I don't even think we had enough time to get to that, and the response was already set. And remember, Dial got a chance a while ago, and he was just spooned it wide of the post. So they have been getting there, and they will continue based upon the tenacity and the level that they're playing at tonight.
Terry George just caught in an offside position. See Jamie Prosper down the right flank.
I think he's up against a monster, and the number 12 for Choiseul, centre back number 12. He's a monster at the back. He's a no-nonsense player.
Yes, Perry Simeon.
Yes, so definitely, if you want to score on Choiseul tonight, you have to get past Mr. Simeon. I like you see that noise from the stands and the support. I really like it from Choiseul. You could hear them from far urging the players on. They to continue to battle it in midfield, possession there for Choiseul. Francis. Look at the time and space he has, trying to play his teammate in. Not on the same page with him, but like I always say, as Choiseul goes. Yeah, it's very good pass. As Choiseul goes, is how Darrell goes. Darrell is the one really steering the tempo. It's a very good pass.
Oh, and he just makes a meal out of that one. Should have been a tap-in. Good ball squared across there by Gavin Reggie, and player is holding on to his head, but the chance has gone. The game is continuing. Can't afford to miss those sorts of opportunities, critic.
A good cutback. I'm thinking that probably he misjudged the pace of the pass, but the pace had to be what it was. Thereby, once you made good contact with it, Eli, it would find itself to the end of, at the back of the net. But I think he was just a little too behind that pass. Hence the reason why he missed that chance. Dennery trying to make a way on the left flank. Poor pass to a certain extent. A little bit of trickery there by young George. You could see him laughing to himself. Clearly he thought he had a little more pace on this one. Dennery defender just punting this one upfield. Dennery again trying to come up the left side. Good interception. Ball went out of play. So it's going to be a throw in to Dennery.
Interestingly enough, Choiseul originally had Marveris May in the starting lineup listed in the forward line. He seems to have dropped it deeper into a more defensive position.
Good defending there by Choiseul. See how quick the players appeal to the referee. It's going to be a free kick in favor of Dennery. Dennery shell shocked by that second goal.
Well, not very often you can say that you scored in the first minute of the game and then 15 minutes into the game you're down 2-1. So they need to regroup. That's already happened. Not for the first time, mind you, to this Dennery team this season.
Again, we see a little pressure. The defender almost fumbling. It'll be a corner for Dennery. The official unmoved by the theatrics of the Dennery player.
Theatrics has the word trick in it, critic. Just so you know. Not much in that, but
It's a foul.
it's a foul.
Well, the crowd from Choiseul, they want the ball. That's all they want to see. They want to see some more goals.
Well, you're not traveling from Choiseul to the south of here for to not be entertained by
Right, that's right.
your team.
Two Choiseul players being down in the area.
Pretty sure some of the players on the pitch are relishing this little break in the action. It's been a frenetic pace. The first half hour of this contest between Choiseul and Dennery. Let me just take the time to remind you guys that when you do purchase a ticket to come to any of the Semi-Pro Football League matches, you should hold on to your ticket stubs, because that stub may just win you an AKT motorcycle. Compliments Court Unicoma. Of course, you may also be in line to win various prizes at the venue as well, from some of our sponsors like Brothers Cider, Courts themselves.
We're approaching the 45th mark. And of course, if you're just joining the stream, you look at the score line. I can tell you what, you missed out on some nice goals, some real dandy goals tonight. So we urge you to stay or make your way to the venue. I think tonight is going to be a tasty night for goal scoring. Those two teams have certainly set the pace.
Good thing about YouTube is that during the halftime break, you can always rewind. Of course, you don't want to do that right now. You might miss another goal. The rate the action is going here at the Philip Masley grounds.
So that was a forced short pass, but it's resulted in a corner for Dennery. Dennery just putting a little pressure on Choiseul. Choiseul not able to get up top to the other half for a little bit.
Javel Fauché about to take that corner. He was the goal scorer for Dennery very early on.
Not a bad effort at all, resulting in another corner. So we have one set of fans to our left, one set of fans to our right. The fans to our right are from Dennery, and the ones to the left are from Choiseul.
It's not a bad thing.
Not bad at all. Another corner.
I know in international football, we always hear about the home end and the away end. Definitely the Philip Masley grounds serving up that sort of atmosphere tonight. Antoine now on the ball, twisting and turning. He's lost out.
Did a little too much with it.
Reggie. Prosper.
Oh, good defense there. Good defense. They had to put his body on the line for this one. See how hard this Choiseul team is working. They're basically working for each other. Hence the reason why they're leading 2-1. You have to put in the shift on both ends of the pitch. All well and good, you're leading 2-1, but you must put in the defensive effort if you want to maintain that lead.
Of course, there's
loads of corners either side for Dennery. Choiseul want to relieve themselves of that pressure.
good throw out there by the goalkeeper for Choiseul, and they're off to the races, and Francis in space on the left flank. He opts to go for goal at a very tight angle.
I don't think he went for goal, you know. I think he was trying to put that ball just within the penalty spot area.
Trying to curl out with
Yes,
the outside of
there you go, there you go. I think if he went for goal,
yeah.
he may have. If he went for goal, he'd have to get some more power into it. So he just tried to put that ball in an interesting area that somebody from Choiseul could just probably just pounce on it. But it didn't work all this time. Again, we saw the combination of Young George and Darrell, not watching each other, just know what they're about, and just putting that ball just ahead of the defense where Darrell could just run into it.
Dennery may also want to check their defensive line because there was just one player a little too deep and playing Francis onside.
Another corner for Dennery.
Riz May giving Prosper all he can handle on Dennery's right flank. Fauché coming across to take the corner again. 4 minutes of regulation time in the first half, and if the referee decides to put on any stoppage time. There's a stoppage in play, not sure exactly. Match official was and a penalty is awarded there. There was a earlier penalty shout, critic, that I felt was worth a look. But this time, the match official.
Yeah. It's a penalty this time for Dennery.
Take a look at that penalty shout again. Curious for me. Ball did make contact with his arm. Lesroy Joseph, the man in the middle for this evening's contest. I don't think he got any help from the referee's assistant. He blew pretty quickly, so he must have been convinced of what he saw. I think he had a better angle. And it's 2 apiece. That goal converted there by Elijah Joseph, I believe it is.
I think you basically, when it comes to penalties, you just have to look at the reaction from the opponent. And you could see clearly the Choiseul lads were just calm about the situation, so it may have just, touched somebody's hand. But they continue, they will fight.
Yeah, I think the ball did make contact with his hand.
The reaction tells you.
Whether it was within the context of a ball making contact with your hand to warrant a penalty is what the inquest may be. Of course, the players don't have the facility of a replay. And even with the replay, I still was not entirely sure. So, of course, we defer to the man in the middle. His position is the official position.
The physio for Dennery coming on.
Action resumes with a throw-in for Dennery. Another throw-in for Dennery, advancing just a little bit up the pitch. But evenly poised, 2 minutes of stoppage time, or added on time by the official. 1 minute has already expired of that. Maybe some additional time may be put on for that injury later on.
I think we've been treated to a good first half football action between those two teams. And I still believe that come the second half, we'll see more goals between the two.
Yeah, Jamie Prosper lining up his traditional long throw-in, not getting past the first defender. Opportunity to put one back in, a dangerous-looking ball back in there, dealt with. Choiseul just dealing with that. Another throw-in of George. Then we're taking that throw-in from behind the advertising board. I think we're just recognizing that the time is ticking away. That's right, Joseph still has not blown the whistle as yet, and
should have done a little better there. He got a better of the defender. I was anticipating that cutback, but it seems that, he may have just run into a cul-de-sac.
Yeah, Atherton Griffith there on the ball. Griffith occupying the right flank. Normally he goes down the center for his club team.
And it's been a while since we had some action at that end of the pitch. So corner now for Choiseul. Can they get something from this one?
Last one that was hung up there. We saw what happened with it, and not the same outcome. And there you have it. 2 goals apiece. Scintillating first half action here between Choiseul and Dennery. You guys can take a breather, get yourself some refreshment, and we'll be back.
At the end of the first half of our first of 2 encounters here tonight, that of the Central City Professional Football League for 2025, Choiseul and Dennery are locked 2-all. Of course, Darren let in very early, and of course, and spin again was Chaplain Forshade. And of course, the boys of the rising sun, as the boys of the Den, Lions Den. 2-all between Choiseul and Dennery, and of course, let me remind you, following this encounter, Dennery will be coming up against Central Castries. We didn't speak about it. What we mentioned is all about the semi-professional football league. And of course, let me make mention of our sponsors for this year's tournament. On my sponsors list, we do have the Rugby Authority, Ministry of Youth Development and Sports. We also do have Costume Diploma, likewise Corner Shops and Lucia, and Brothers Ciders. And let me remind you that Brothers Ciders is doing out a 2 for 10 all tournament long at the Ciders Bar. And we will have the Bank of St. Lucia Football Association, Float, and of course Invest St. Lucia. And let me remind you that we'll be conducting our penalty shootouts. Some lucky persons will be going home with some goodies. I think the penalty shootouts will be spearheaded by Sherian and I, of course. Sherian is in on the 12 points. 12 on Honda. 12 on the boys. they'll be participating in the penalty shootouts. Of course, we have some goodies there for the 12 and unders. Going to see our local sponsors of the tournament for this year. Yeah, we can play some music. In our penalty shootouts. We'll be giving away prizes to see our local sponsors for this year's tournament. So 12 and on the boys, you are asked to accumulate right here on the green grass, right here at the Philip Marshall Master Ground.
Things that's changed man. This year, like they have a different man. It was just a woman between religion and carnival. It was only car police jumping up in the streets. That was my mistake a bit in charge of the whole business. 7 days in Bacchanal, 7 days in Bacchanal, 7 days in Bacchanal, 7 days in Bacchanal. I want to grind with Melissa, I want to grind with Melissa, I want to grind with Melissa, I want to grind with Melissa. 7 days in Bacchanal, 7 days in Bacchanal, 7 days in Bacchanal, 7 days in Bacchanal. This is a Choiseul, aka Asiatic.
Boys, I don't think none of these guys have found the back of the net as yet. 12 on the boys. All right, we have a goal scorer. He's close to the CEO, the smallest man, you know, finding the back of the net. This one is just grazing the post. Not forgetting Brothers is going at 2-4-10 all tournament long on the Brothers tent. Shout out to Brothers Cider. Yeah, man. This one will go in. Yeah, we have a second goal scorer there. Pop the music, man, lovely. Why?
Six to nine.
brother, you're a German? That man name is Ozil. He has a mess with Ozil. That man is a top man. He's from Germany. Germany. What come from? Germany. Mess with Ozil. Mesut Ozil is one of the top passers in the game. Top assist, from Mesut Ozil. We have 2 goal scorers there. Ozil and Maki. Yeah, man. A short man and a tall man. Yeah. Ozil and Maki. You're right there, Ozil and Maki. Just now. Come. Yeah. Look. That's the second. Hold on, Ozil. Let me come in the middle of you. Yeah. We good?
Without terrorists, we still make it fall. More prostitution and another goal. Right the wrong, take it to down low. Too much crime, love red line. While you suffer is never forget the line. Vote for us, minus is plus. Fancy car while you can't make us. Hey, yeah, hey, yeah, hey, yeah. Down from Lucia. Hey, yeah, hey, yeah, hey, yeah. Down from Lucia. It's carnival time, your time to wine. Down from Lucia. Politicize carnival, fun in the ride. Stress in your mind, nothing wants you behind. Taking your money and it's more alive.
Biggest bubble at the bar. This lady came from afar. Shut up your hospitality, think of his speciality. She don't want no blood to carry. Oh, no brother, nothing. She don't want no kind of whiskey. All she wants, and she begging, and she begging, and she begging, she begging, she begging, she begging. Wow, pour a cocktail in my glass. 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 I'm feeling nice, with rum on ice, with rum on ice. I'm feeling nice, I'm feeling nice, with rum on ice, with rum on ice. I'm feeling nice, 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 nice. Pour a cocktail in my glass. Pour a cocktail in my glass. Hey! Oh! Give me! Now she bend over this stool. I kept working being cool. On the back she's not proud, but she wants another round. You know they got like to cut it. She wants to take it from the fit. She wanna touch every day. All she wants, and she begging, and she begging, and she begging, she begging, she begging, she begging. I'll pour a cocktail in my glass. 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 I'm feeling nice. With rum on ice. With rum on ice. I'm feeling nice. I'm feeling nice. With rum on ice. With rum on ice. I'm feeling nice, 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 nice. Pour a cocktail in my glass. Pour a cocktail in my glass.
This is Munch. This one is large. Big tune. I met this little girl in a party. She said she don't like a wire. But you only jump in and win. Time to stop this game now to play. Make a round, make a round, make a round, make a round. If you want to make 1 round, or you should make 2 rounds, let me wind my waistline without interruption. I say, girl, only think of a few I come, and now you're telling me make a round. This is Munch. This one.
in a party. She said she don't like how I act. But you only jump in and win. Time to stop this game now to play. Make a round, make a round, make a round, make a round. If you want to make one round, or you should make 2 rounds, then you wind my waistline without interruption. I said, girl, only because of you I come. And now you're telling me make a round. She told me I get this shot. Six seconds, kills, 6 seconds, kills.
Welcome back to our game. First of 2 to be played here tonight. Dennery coming up against Choiseul. It's 2-2 here between the two. And it's all about the St. Lucia City Professional Football League for 2025. Darrell Francis and of course Johnny Louis, emanated for Choiseul, Javel Fouch and Elijah Joseph for Dennery. Following this encounter, Canaries, they will come up against Central Castries. Let me remind you that we'll be back here tomorrow for some more games. That's on the St. Lucia Semi-Professional Football League.
In the first half was like a T20. It's 2 apiece. Let us see if those two teams can muster up some more goals for our entertainment. Meantime, ball intercepted by Dennery. Keep staying up and wanting to just pile a shot out of nothing, but was able to win themselves a corner. Dennery starting very brightly. And see if they can take the lead and maintain the lead.
Well, let's see if we can keep up with the pace. Second half started just as quickly as the first, but the goal has not come just yet. Of course, Elijah Williams and Tennyson Glasgow, the critic in your company. And as critic was alluding to, 2 goals apiece in the first half. Action galore. It's like a heavyweight boxing match, exchanging blows.
Physio being called on to just do a little repair job on one of the Choiseul players, it looks like.
It looks like he got a knock to the noggin.
Yeah. I like the spirit, Eli, within the Choiseul camp. I mean, you could see that they're not fazed by the scoreline as much as you would want to be disappointed to suffer a penalty, but you could see that they're up for the challenge.
I thought you were making a reference actually to the Choiseul support, how they decked in the Choiseul shirts.
And if I might add, they're certainly behind the team.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. You'd think that they're from there for, as opposed to Choiseul. Strongly behind the team.
Emphasizing on the word behind. Action continues on the pitch.
Emphasize on the word size.
Yeah.
Anyway, lots to see down there at the Philip Masley grounds as the action continues on the field of play. Everton Griffith on the ball now. Plays it forward. A throw in there.
The outcome, of course, which either way it goes, it will shift a needle for one of the teams. As Eli mentioned on the table, one team is in the 8th, one team is in the 9th position. So should it stay that way, one team, of course, will just edge their way up. So there's a lot at stake between those two. Done, man.
Yeah, Dennery on the attack again. Looks like they've won themselves another corner. As we see also some of the Central Castries players making their way into the dressing room area. Some of the Canaries players around as well.
Yeah, Eli, we already see Central Castries and Canaries making their way into the facility. And
in both, the building.
Yeah, both teams seems to have their game face on.
Dennery playing the ball forward there again, and the ball coming across.
Again, Eli, I wouldn't shoot. I would have squared that ball back. Try my best to square the ball back into the penalty area.
I think he selected the wrong pass there. Should have been Terry George on the right flank. He was in acres of space, but
would have been a much easier pass for him. Basically forced this one towards the left side. I don't know if young Terry George was able to shout him or get his attention.
a little bit of a pinball scenario happening now in the game. Neither team able to get their foot on the ball.
And settle down and make some passes and keep possession. Respect.
Throw in there by Dennery. Ball won by Choiseul. Up the field and possession regained by Dennery. It's been like that for the last couple of minutes. Looks like a corner there. Dennery had definitely won the corner contest in the first half, and they at it again in the second.
Last count I was on was 8. So that might just be number 9. So in terms of the corners, then we are leading.
Well, of course, that's not the telling statistic. The most important statistic is tied at 2 apiece. So we see a ball coming in there and flicked on. Nothing doing there. Choiseul able to get that one away. Then we again on the ball. Mighty old tussle going on in the near the corner flag there. Foul there by Francis.
Possession maintained by Dennery, a free kick. The wind certainly will play a factor in this free kick. Goalkeeper a little lucky there, Eli. Somewhere that's infringed on him, but he clearly missed out in terms of punting that football. All going upfield but out of touch. Eli, we haven't seen the fluidity we saw in the first half. We haven't seen the possession as well. Is it a situation that both teams are a little too eager?
I was just about to say, I think the eagerness and the energy is definitely there, but not being channeled in a way that will produce the free-flowing football we saw in spells by both teams in the first half.
It's a free kick now for Canaries.
A little bit of a mishmash in there, and George with some good feet. Just a little too much purchase on the pass, and Dennery are away. Long raking cross-field ball there, but dealt with well enough, but the keeper gives it right back and is fortunate enough to reclaim it. No harm, no foul, they say.
Escape with this one. The game has definitely dropped a bit in terms of concentration by both teams. Unable to stitch passes together. It's a corner in favor of Choiseul. Let's see if they can gain some impetus from this corner.
Your player going across to take it. Terry George. Connected well with Darrell Francis for the equalizing goal to make it 1 goal apiece. And good ball in.
Good pace. Another free kick in a very interesting position for Choiseul. Is it going to be young George behind this one, Eli?
Does that look like they have a trick? And they do, and
They'll have to be pinpoint perfect to score from all the way out there, to beat the goalkeeper from there. Probably if it was a little closer, you'd have more impact.
when you have a goalkeeper of that stature in goal, I think you might want to try your luck. But another opportunity gone by.
Dennery trying not to give Choiseul a break on defense, so they could nab one away and
Nifty footwork there, getting
good football.
George on the ball.
Tough skill there by George. Oh, coming across, Eli, dangerous. Darrell just putting this one across. Any wrong contact.
And there goes Dennery on the counter attack. That's what they do, critic. In there, and the ball just escapes him, gets away from him, crashes into the goalkeeper. Think he would want to get that one back, you know.
I think amidst that, he just didn't get the proper lay. As much as he was in control of the football, the ball just didn't sit right for him to pull off a shot.
Well, Rizme did just enough to press him as well.
Right, but the ball kept on bouncing, thereby leaving him to a certain extent. So basically, he was playing catch up. Poor free kick there.
Yeah.
Not giving his teammates a chance.
I sometimes don't get teams from the halfway line trying to lump a ball into. I mean, of course, if it's in the waning moments of a game and you're desperately trying to get onto a goal, but why not just restart the ball and maintain
keep possession? Keep possession, especially under those conditions, because down there is a lot of the wind factor down there can keep that football back. So you just want to keep that ball like you mentioned, and mount your possession, and see what you get from it.
Yeah, I think even though you're able to get the ball into the area, it's hit or miss. You know, it's anybody's ball.
It's like a Hail Mary.
Yeah.
So deep throw, long throw, raking throw.
Clearance there by
Dennery from Choiseul.
Choiseul. Then
Dennery
we're back
taking
on the
possession,
ball.
yeah.
Dennery wants to look slightly sharper in the first 20 odd minutes of the second half. I think they've enjoyed more possession than Choiseul. George with some skill there.
Young George exhibiting his skills. Choiseul have possession right now.
Rizmi puts that one into a dangerous area. Wins it back. Skips a defender and loses out.
A little too much with it.
Wins it back again. Loses out again.
Thing is, Eli, when you evade one or two players, they're gonna double up on you. So get rid of the football, make a proper pass.
There's Dennery again with that long raking pass. An opportunity here, and it's a goal by Dennery. They've been pressing, and it's paid the dividends finally for Dennery. A goal to the good, 3 goals to 2. Looks like Torian Joseph, who replaced Gavin Reggie at the half, is the beneficiary of that loose ball in the box, and he dispatched it.
Yeah, Choiseul have themselves to blame. They may have just lost the concentration at the back in terms of defending. In those sort of situations, you don't want to miss ball, you don't want to miss interceptions. Basically, giving Dennery a gift.
Well, they
just gobbled at it.
They have been a little bit under the cosh. Not so much so, but I was just making the point that I felt that Dennery looked a little bit sharper in the first 20 minutes of the second half. They had been pressing a little bit, and fortune favors the brave.
Yeah, I wouldn't count out Choiseul just yet. You know, I still Choiseul still have something in the tank. With the likes of Darrell up front, they still can muster an opportunity, despite them really looking a little sharper. But I still wouldn't write off Choiseul in this game.
They first need to get their foot on the ball. Griffith down the left flank, trying to weave his way through, nothing doing there.
And also, I don't know if you've realized, Eli, but Darrell has not really been on the ball. So basically, the control and the tempo for the Choiseul team has gone a little haywire to a certain extent. Whereas if they play through Darrell, they should be able to get some results. It's a goal kick to Dennery. Dennery, of course, playing from the back. So Zell needs to get hold of that midfield. As Eli indicated, the Dennery team, they're flying high right now, brimming with confidence. Another ball into the
one
area.
across.
Just missed this opportunity. And this is where you mentioned earlier too, Eli, where the senior players need to now pass on the message within the squad for Choiseul that let's get back into shape. Let us see how we can get ourselves back into this game. I don't see anybody doing that just yet, taking the responsibility. I expect Darrell to voice his opinion, or even the goalkeeper to a certain extent, or central defenders. But just yet, it's just playing within themselves, and they're making it very difficult for them.
Yeah, Dennery pretty much having their way right now.
Yeah.
No sooner than they concede possession, they regain it. As you mentioned earlier, Francis almost telepathically playing George in. Didn't work out this time.
But they need to communicate. They need to speak. They need to speak with each other. They need to have somebody shouting out at players now to take responsibility. If not, this game is gonna leave them behind. Meanwhile, we see the Dennery guys, they're fighting for every scrap of the football.
Yeah, Torian Joseph, who scored the go-ahead goal, has been in the mix. He's been throwing himself about. He has a proper turn of pace, as we just saw there. But trying to get himself in and around the action, around the box.
Ooh, a little more purchase on this one.
Tricky flick.
Yeah. But they did it with no conviction.
Antoine now on the ball, trying to get Francis in. Nothing doing there. George.
Choiseul unable to keep possession.
Terry George well marshaled there and not getting the opportunity to work his magic.
Dennery certainly winning the game in midfield.
Choiseul desperately trying to string a few passes together and get their rhythm going, but Dennery not allowing them to do so.
Okay, good control from the back. Goalkeeper doing very well. Dennery trying to put one into the box area.
Dangerous ball in, a little too close to the goalkeeper. But again, you see Dennery mounting the offensive, pushing forward, trying to create something. Player for Dennery down and requiring some assistance.
Yeah, if Choiseul wants to get back on that score sheet, they will have to take control of the middle of the pack. Don't know if they have any substitute who can impact the game that much. I don't know if that bench is as deep as I think it is. But they just need somebody to sit and block off traffic in midfield and to pass on that ball to Darrell or to Young George. But as of now, Dennery is in the driver's seat. We see another loose pass there by Choiseul. Still able to. Young George trying to make his way up the flank, fighting it out. And it's a throw in now to Dennery. Eli, do you think it's a situation of who wants it more right now, despite Dennery taking the lead?
I think it's a situation of who can control the football more right now, and Dennery seems to be doing so. Not sure if it's a scenario of fitness, not sure if it's a scenario of will. Dennery looks as fresh as a daisy.
Can I ask which daisy? Is it Ryan or Marlon?
I said fresh.
Are you indicating that those two are still?
I didn't say that. That is left to your interpretation.
Good clearance there by Choiseul, all the way up. It turned out to be a good pass, as a matter of fact. Trying to force its pass in there. So throw in for Choiseul. Certainly the Choiseul fans, when their team needs them, they seem to be just walking about, not making any noise right now. Earlier on, we saw the energy from the Choiseul fans, but that seems to have dwindled. When Choiseul was up, the noise was up. And now Choiseul is down, the ladies are just...
The noise is down.
They're just parading.
So I think that's culturally us in St. Lucia.
Yeah, when you really need the fans, that energy is no longer there. Not the sort of shot that he will be proud of. Some substitutions being made from both teams. Seems like young George is making his way out.
Firstly for Dennery, Choiseul Okuli replacing Elijah Joseph, my namesake, scorer of the second goal for Dennery via the penalty spot. And there goes Dennery again, winning the ball back in a dangerous position, losing out. Another one-man press.
Ball still within the area. Choiseul keeping possession. Searching pass towards the left side. There's no one there. Searching pass upfield by Dennery. Offside call on the attacker.
This game has not been a dirty game by any stretch of the imagination, but just because of the clashing energies of the two teams, we've had a couple of knocks here and there. See a Dennery player needing some assistance.
Yeah, both teams basically fighting for 3 points. We know how important it is. But in the second half, the passing game has not been as fluid. So the physio giving some attention. The Dennery player. So throw in for Dennery, a long throw is anticipated.
And there's a snapshot there by Torian Joseph. He's been in the mix for Dennery, trying to fish out a second goal for himself, which would be Dennery's 4th goal.
And then we're giving some good defense there. Defender still in possession. I want to get a pass just up, probably, and we don't want to miss. There's a pass towards the left side.
Good ball played in by Darrell Francis to Griffith, but unable to bring the ball under his spell. Sort of been the theme, continuous theme for Choiseul the second half.
Also, Eli, I don't know if you realize, but the Choiseul team, they're tired. They're very, very tired right now because they started on the front foot and we saw them fighting and jostling throughout. But now certainly it's taking a toll on them to get up there. Hence the reason why you see them not able to pin the right pass, because when you're tired, the concentration level certainly drops. So what was basic for them in the first half has become very much mountainous right now. Very hard, very difficult for them to do.
Yeah.
And that in itself shows the experience of the Dennery team. The Dennery team sort of getting to the football first as a result of that, thereby having more possession in the second half.
Something I've noted as well, I think the substitutions for Dennery have had a little bit more impact on the game than that of Choiseul.
You see them fighting more and have more energy in the tank.
Francis trying to make something happen. There goes Dennery.
Composure, carry some more, get closer to the goal. Very difficult to beat the goalkeeper from this sort of angle, from all the way out there.
Not that I want any daisies to feel that I'm picking on them, but from that distance with a daisy cutter.
That shot certainly didn't cut any daisies. A very interesting term in football, the daisy cutter. Not much time left in this one. We're about to approach the 90th minute mark. Of course, we wait for the indication of the added stoppage time. Meanwhile, we see Choiseul still trying to cause some havoc in attack. And there you see it, another bad pass. Not able to get onto it. That would be a throw into Choiseul, taken quickly. And there is a number 18 for Dennery in the middle of the pack.
Nothing like a crunching tackle to get the fans up.
He has played out of his socks. He has really played out of his socks. He's been there from the first whistle.
And Ethan Andrew.
And he hasn't given up at all. That's a goal kick to Dennery. He's really worked hard for his team. Really worked hard for his team. You might not see him in the headlines, but his challenges, his tracking back, his efforts defensively, he's been really good.
This one peters out. 3 minutes of added on time signal by the fourth official. We've already played a minute of that.
Let this guy in. Don't let this guy. Darrell must be kicking himself, knowing he should have done better. A little more composure. Too much purchase on that football, and who knows? We could have been citing a free all. All right, now it's a corner for Choiseul. Might just be their last chance to equalize this game. But the kick has to be pinpoint.
Still just about a minute to play, but kind of feel like the opportunities for Choiseul have gone a begging, and as you would say, critic, it looks like it's curtains.
And you'll say that, you know. Yeah. Not too far away from curtains. Of course, now you can hear the fans from Choiseul, but it might just be a little too late. Equalizer! Eli. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
That man again, and if Antoine.
Never say die. This is the attitude. This is what you want. This is the mentality that you want. Just when Dennery thought they had this game all wrapped up, the 3 points in the bag. Good wing play by Choiseul, showing some patience and just putting that ball into an area. Just putting it into an area, and no one from Dennery was able to get rid of it.
Football critic, football.
Cruel game, it is. It's a sweet game, but there are moments like this. So sweet for Choiseul, painful for Dennery. Bittersweet moment. And that's why we love this game. Never give up.
The struggle continues for Dennery. The score remains the same. 1 point will not do much for them, and as the final whistle, 3 goals apiece between Dennery and Choiseul down at the Philip Marsler grounds. Of course, stay tuned. You want to take a little refreshment break, take a washroom break, because there's more action coming your way. Canaries take on Central Castries in our second game of the evening. Elijah Williams and Tennyson Glasgow saying good night.
Story Choiseul and netting for Dennery. 3 ball here between the two. Of course, moving forward, let me make mention of our sponsors for this year's tournament. On my sponsors list, we do have National Lottery Authority, Ministry of Youth Development and Sports. Also, we have Crops Beauty Corner, Order Shop St. Lucia, Brothers Cider. And let me remind you that Brothers Cider is going up to the tournament long. And on my list again, we do have Bank of St. Lucia Football Association, Flow, and of course, Invest St. Lucia. Let me make mention to you following this game that has just finished there. Canaries, they will take on Central Castries. Some interviews there from the players, and of course, we'll be entertaining you with some more music. Inside.
Ex-boyfriend was a mess. That boy couldn't pass the test. Sweetie, now you need a G. I tell me the word in my tree. Oh, we go on the nigga, I love you. If you ever want you, let me say bye, man. Let me go, we go, I'm gonna let you. Let me call the first 11 for the upcoming game. The first 11 for Canaries, number 4, we have Steve Henry. Number 18, we have Daniel Jabatis. Number 8, Dwayne Jabatis. Number 16, Donovan Jabatis. Number 19, that is Himea John. Elias Jones wearing the number 6. Number 10 is Cassius Joseph. Number 9, Macasper Louis. Gerald Marfrin, he's wearing the number 15. Jadel Mitchell wearing the number 20. And of course, number 14 is Jerry Regis, the head coach. He's Manasseh Edward. Manager is Eric Longfield. Equipment manager, Anaya Marfrin. And J.R. Narcissus being the physio. The first 11 for Castries. In goal, number 1, we have Aaron Daniel. Emery Edward is wearing the number 13. McCallum John wearing number 11. Nathan Lamontagne, number 15. Tom Fordes, number 2. Number 6 is Shaquan Nelson. Messiah
Messiah female that is wearing the number 16. Number 2 is Giovanni Santibus. Then Herrera Wellington wearing the number 4. Number 14 is Jamal Wilfred. And number 10 is Pernell Williams.
Griffith from the Choiseul team. Choiseul, a battling team, a team who has worked very hard, coming up for a win earlier in the contest against Grosile. And we saw you guys take some of that momentum into this game against Dennery. Was it a difficult game for you guys?
I wouldn't say it was a difficult game for us, but they made us run a lot. It wasn't difficult. We could have managed it, but from time to time we let it get away from us a little bit. But it wasn't a difficult game for us.
What caused you guys to let that game get away? Was it tiredness? Was it a lapse of concentration? A lapse of focus? What do you think was a factor why you guys dropped this game and had to fight back on every occasion?
Well, like they say, football is pretty much a mental game. So a lack of focus. It brought us down a bit because if you could have seen, from time to time we started dribbling in the back, losing possession there, and that's not just on tiredness. We just lost the mentality for a little while, and then our legs started kicking in. So it was just a culmination of things.
Good. So of course you guys come back on 2 occasions. So steadily you can take that to the practice pitch and try and see if you guys can recover fully. Hoping that there are no injuries and you guys can get ready for your next encounter. Can we see a better showing? Can we see another 3 points for Choiseul?
Yes, definitely. If you watch the games, you could see we are steadily improving. Every single game we complete, we go back and we try to better. There is no such thing as a perfect game. So win or lose on a training pitch, there is something that we have to better, and we go there and try to work on it as much as we can.
Well said, Griffith. I wish you guys all the best going forward. All right.
Every day I wanna make you happy. Girl, you know say I might need you happy. When we go cheap or cheap for your body. If you don't understand, let me tell you one. Tell you pretty and purpose. Tell you pretty and purpose. Tell you pretty and purpose. You make a one get purpose. Tell you pretty and purpose. Tell you pretty and purpose. Tell you pretty and purpose. You make a one get purpose. Oh me, oh my, I'm falling in love when I see those eyes. Just put your hands when I feel those eyes. No side chick, yeah, you want real, you want real.
Oh,